Hey everyone. Um, Facebook has definitely changed going live, so um, I have to tell you, it hopefully I'm coming in at the right time. So this is the first time on the new Facebook. I don't know if all of y'all have seen the changes this morning or woke up to them like I did and totally surprised. So I don't know how many of you got a chance to watch Shirley and Chessman do her amazing live reading with me yesterday. Such a privilege to work with someone of that level, and I warmly welcome her to. Oh, it's telling me something, and I don't know what it's telling me. Okay. Um, So bear with me, guys. Key frame rate too low. I have no idea what it's telling me, but we're going to go with I don't know. And there you go. Um, Gosh, I wished I would have been forewarned that Facebook changed everything. Anyway, I apologize. I'm giving it my best shot and hope this video comes out okay. Um, to work with somebody like Shirley is really awesome. And I know a lot of you are going, wow, she's so fantastic. Look at her gifts and look at what we could all be doing. And I have to tell you that we can. Um, the last 5 weeks, we went through the our senses. And the reason that is to reintroduce yourself to your own awareness. And that means what you taste like, what's going on in your body, what's happening out there, and how that feels to you. And the reason that we do this is so that we get in touch with our intuition and we get our senses going to where it responds to our intuition. And we start working that together and uniting it. I know that a lot of people are like me, that when they started their path when they were younger, they didn't really have the option of having background and knowledge. I came from a small 12,000 person town, and to even talk about dealing with the psychic was not well received. So you kept your mouth shut. Um, and you didn't really, unless you were lucky enough to be born into a family who had gifts and supported that. I did have family that had gifts, but it wasn't talked about because it didn't fit in with religion. And I was young when some of them passed away that could have worked with me and helped me. And probably they thought I was too young and too irresponsible to take on the responsibility of my spirit gifts. So I kind of struggled a long time with it. I learned from people by taking classes. I learned how to read tarot from one of Albuquerque's oldest tarot teachers from back in the day, Darlene Costello. Many of you probably know her, some of you may not. She taught me to read literally and study and trained to teach me what the deck meant literally. And she also told me to read it intuitively, which is how I read it today. The study and training that I went through was paramount to my development as a person today. When I started working and training at the church, I really got involved in the metaphysical aspects, the philosophies of human consciousness, human experience here, because I really wanted to understand that. And it went a long way in working with my gifts. Now, many of you yesterday watching Shirley and I probably thought, well, why didn't her son come in? Well, honestly, I do. I miss my son. I miss him every day. That's not going to change. However, he has his work. And I am not so unclear and covered by grief anymore that I can't feel him myself. So there wasn't a need for him to come in. There were other spirits that needed to come from the other side to touch in. And I was really grateful for that, because so many people, it's really easy to say to the person who has lost a person in their life, oh, that person is here. My son is not always there. And it's really paramount of importance that when we're working and we're doing readings for people, that our accuracy remain at a very high standard, because that message that, let's say, somebody thought the message was from Lance and they said something about shut the front door, would have a meaning from my son for one level, but it may not have the same meaning if it was from, say, my grandfather. These are the things that we have to understand and work and strive for. A lot of people take classes and they are told how excellent they are. They take a weekend course and they're sent out to do the work, and they're not well versed in the accuracy, so the information they get, they don't quite know how to interpret it. They don't really understand what their spirit team is giving them or what the information is that is coming across. And that's where we should be studying and training together. We don't always understand. We need that other person to say, well, you're a little off there. Why don't you try doing it this way? Or let's say somebody's training to be a medium and they're used to meditating, they're used to talking to their spirit team, but they don't know how to work between the veil and here, so that they can bring the information to other people in the ways that they might need to work. The other aspect is you heard Shirley say somebody told her she was going to be a spirit portraitist. And she did. She became one. She didn't believe it. She didn't know that that's what she was going to be doing. She said she got kicked out of art school or something to that effect, or, because she couldn't draw a straight line. Boy, I can raise my hand to that. I can't draw a straight line. But the passion was there, and she was guided to do that. But she also sat with her friend, Audrey, every day, training together, sitting in meditation, working with each other, helping each other become more accurate, become better. And these are the things that are really important in our growth in our spiritual awareness and our spirit gifts. Just getting a course in and thinking that opened you up and you're now awakened can be, I don't want to say dangerous, but it can be really a lot harder, putting a lot harder on yourself than it needs to be. Whereas, when I studied metaphysics, I started understanding how come we come in the way we come in. How do we do the things that we do? So when I get the information, when I'm doing a reading, I then understand it more fully, and I'm not just blurting things out that absolutely don't make a whole lot of sense to the person receiving the message. Understanding what we're here to do, which is growing and reawakening. It's not just reawakening so that we can go do this work. It's reawakening to the spirit that we really are, to the truth of who we are, so that we rise in consciousness. It's not always just about our spirit gifts. It's about understanding how they complete us, not that they are the only thing about us that we need to work with. So it becomes imperative upon us to put our ego down and look at what it is that we need to do to be of service. Where's our destiny lie? Somebody may be a amazing healer, a trance healer. They can be doing work as really getting involved and really understanding that work and really benefiting their clientele. But if the only thing they are given is the chance to learn Reiki or healing touch or massage or acupuncture, they're not opening their gifts that really make a difference. A medical intuitive is a way different story than a psychic surgeon or a trance healer. They're all different gifts, and they require different training and understanding. But until you really make the commitment to learn who you are and what your gifts actually are, then the holdup is that we don't progress. We get frustrated, or we give out wrong information. And once we understand that giving out inaccurate information, the onus is on us, and we take karmic hits for that. If we know we aren't supposed to do this and we do it anyway, like you're not supposed to steal, but if you went and you stole $10 out of somebody's wallet, you're going to have to pay that balance back. Somehow you're going to have to bring it back in to balance. And that requires a level of awareness that what you did was wrong. Lots of people do things and they don't quite understand that, they might repeat something that they learned in a class that they didn't fully understand. So when they reinterpret it and they're teaching it to someone else, it gets twisted. That's why it's hard work that we do, and that we train every day, and we research and we meditate and we stand in our integrity before we open our mouths, before we charge $1,500 to become this amazing gifted whatever it is that you're training in for the weekend. It's more important that instead of learning the gift, you learn the foundation first. So understanding the foundations and the principles and why it works the way it does will help move you light years in the work you're supposed to be doing. And you'll get the information, and so when you're working in your correct area of the arena in which your gifts are to shine, it goes so much more smoothly. Now, I know that a lot of people struggle, well, where do I go from there? I can't afford these classes. I can't afford this. Well, I can tell you that finding a reputable instructor, mentor, is imperative. You have to first start learning and building the relationships you have with yourself and in meditation and with your mentor that you're going to be working with. They should be wise enough to give you work to do during the week that will help augment your work. I study and train, and my mentor tells me, okay, this week you're going to focus on this, and I want you to do this in meditation, or I want you to practice doing that. And I do it because I trust her. I trust her implicitly because she has my best interest at heart, not her ego and not her pocketbook. And if you haven't guessed, I've been studying and training with Audrey for a long time because I trust her to tell me, no, not done, not good, try it this way. You're not quite, and it helps me improve my accuracy. It's not that I wasn't doing the work before, but she's improving me every day I work with her. Every step that I acknowledge and work with. It doesn't mean that I don't take classes and do other things with other people. I do. And she's fully supportive of this, as any true instructor would be. Now understand that when my son died, the grief stopped me from, it just completely rocked my world. I'm fully capable of understanding that and admitting that some of my work suffered drastically. And it took a hit that was, that I had to reopen the gates. I had to reopen the door. I had to really work through that darkness that I was in to feel again, to feel that connection again. And I needed somebody to help guide me through that tunnel. And I'm coming out the other side, which means is that I'm going to be back to doing my work in an even better way. So sometimes we have to set aside our ego instead of saying, well, I'm doing this work and I don't need to go any further than this. Sometimes we need a little set down that says, okay, you got to this level, but you're capable of getting here, and we're going to help you get there. So we find those people that are meant to help us by doing the work and building the foundations from the ground up. instead of just kind of going in and saying, oh, here we are, we're doing this. I'm doing the same thing that I've always done day in, day out, and I've never pushed my gifts any further than they are now. You become stagnant. And you doing that, it's not good for you because the passion tends to go out of your work. It also has this pertains to our life in general. It has that way. It's like being at the same job for 30 years and abruptly you get laid off and you have to go learn how to do something else. So it's a struggle, but you might reinvigorate your life by changing it up a little. So I want you guys to really think about that, because there's a lot of opportunities that we have here, and a lot of opportunities to grow in our wisdom and our training. But we first have to go in and say, this is my weak area. Okay? So let's say you're an amazing, gifted psychic healer medium, but your weak slot is metaphysics. Your weak slot is understanding certain aspects. You go to somebody who can help you do that. If your gift is in metaphysics and you need to fine-tune your gifts of spirit, you find the right instructor for that as well. Now, I heard something this morning I want to share with you. We are all privileged to connect to Earth. We are all privileged to connect to the spirits. That is our privilege in this world. Our privilege is to work in spiritual consciousness with each other. Our gift is the gift of one another. It is our honor. It is our blessing when we can reach out and feel the ancient ones come in, the energy of the ancient ones. Or like when I go outside and I sit under the tree by the center Resonant Essentials, there is a spirit in that tree. Her name is Laurel IE. And we've had conversations. That is my privilege. That is my opportunity. That is something that is really powerful that we get to do if we take the 5 minutes to introduce ourselves to the plants, to the animals that are around. I don't talk to cockroaches, I'll give you that. Not my thing. But I'm sure they have a consciousness all of their own, but just saying. But the thing is that we go through this and we understand that our privilege in this world is to walk it together and to help each other grow and to give love where love is most needed and even where it's not, is to open our hearts, welcome people in. I want to remind you guys that we do have, I am sitting here on Wednesday afternoons with open meditation from 4 to 5:30. We'll probably be extending the hours to go after 5 o'clock time as soon as we find out which way everything's going July 1st. So if you want to come in, there's no guided meditation, there's no music playing, because we should be entering the stillness of our own higher self. Going in, doing that meditation and building that energy together. When you do that together, when you sit together, you start opening up your spirit. You start opening up your gifts. You start opening up your heart. So I invite you to come in. Don't forget, we're going to be closed tomorrow. Staff in-house training. We're going to be taking a workshop here, staff, so we can improve our gifts for you. So we're going to be closed tomorrow. We're going to be closed on the July 3rd for the holiday weekend. People don't usually, they're out at the lake or they're barbecuing or they're having fun at the fireworks, and yay. And it's going to be cooler this week, so double yay. I wish you all the best. My heart to yours. Donna and Fiachna Rose are here today. If you want to pop in, we hope to see you soon. Bye. My heart to all of yours. Bye now.